everyone, it's Joy here for Crafty Meraki, and I'm going to be sharing a card that I used the Mini Slimline Shaker pockets. I want to first start with the Luxe Lilies stamp set. So I'm going to stamp those. I'm going to put that in my Misty, and I'm going to stamp this with black ink. I want to do some really quick and easy Copic coloring on these images. So I'm going to put that in my Misty, ink this up with black ink. I'm going to stamp it 2 or 3 times. I'm going to make sure I'm getting a really good crisp image for my lilies here. We are not going to use all of them on this stamp, but I'm just going to color all of them anyways. I can put the remaining images left into my stamp and use it on a different project. Sometimes that's really a fun thing to do, is just kind of pull out some of the things that you already have made and then just throw together a card. So I'm going to use 3 of the images that we have here. I will use Copic markers. I'm using R81, 85, and 83. And then we'll use a little bit of some green. I'm not going to show coloring every single one of them because it really is kind of the same. So I'm starting with a darker pink, the R85, in the center of all of those lilies. I am going to leave some white space around the tips of the petals. Then I have R83, which is my middle color. I'm kind of blending over the R85 and then blending out. And then I have my R81 that I'm going to come back over and blend over everything. But you can see I'm leaving about those white edges. I love lilies. Those are my favorite flowers. It's my daughter's favorite flowers. I'm going to come back in now that everything is blended with that R85 and just go to the base of the leaves again and add back in a little bit of that darker area because it did blend out quite a bit. Then I'm using YG67 and YG63 for the green on the leaves and the stem. So like I said, really simple, easy, quick coloring, but they're so beautiful, and I love how these lily images look. You just have so many different variations on the lilies. I'm going to use the coordinating die to die cut all of these out at once, which I really love. It is quick work to die cut this many images. Like I mentioned, I am only going to be using 3 of these lilies for our Mini Slimline card. I have a piece that is measured 6 1/4 by 3 1/2 of white cardstock, and then I have patterned paper that is measured to the same size. We're going to use that green. That is from the Watercolor Whimsy, I believe, patterned paper. I'm going to place that inside of my Mini Slimline Shaker pocket. I'm going to peel off the release paper. I like to start at the bottom and then do my 2 sides and press that down. Then I'll bring in my bone folder just to really get a good adhesion on the back. We don't want any of our little shaker bits to come out. And I'm going to be using a ton. I'm using the Twinkle Treats Neon Pink Buttercream, and then I'm using some little butterflies also. These little blue kind of turquoise butterflies. I'm going to put these here in this cute little heart tray from Crafty Meraki, and I am going to fill up this shaker background. I want a lot of shaker bits in this one. So I'm even going to come back in with the yellow ones, the buttercream, and add a little bit more. Sometimes I want just a little bit of shaker bits, and sometimes I want a lot. And this card, I really wanted a lot. I just thought, this is all about the shaker bits. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to peel back the release paper on that top piece, fold it over, and press it down. Now we have our shaker card, and this will be adhered to a Mini Slimline card base. Now there's a protective film on the front of this, and I'm going to peel this off now that I'm ready to put my card together. Look at how fun that looks. Look at all of those shaker bits. It is so full. Now I want to add my sentiment and my beautiful flowers. Like I mentioned, I'm using 3 flowers. The sentiment that I'm going to be using is from the Gilded Expressions. You can foil this paper, but I'm not. I already have some that I had die cut previously. I'm just going to use the black because I'm liking the pop of black against all of this color on this card. So I'm using the sentiment that says Sending Prayers. And I'm going to just use some tape runner and adhere that to the front of this card. I'm going to place this down. And then I can tuck this other one under. I probably shouldn't have pressed that other flower down too much. I was able to lift it up and then tuck that bottom one under, and then we have the one on the top. And I'm going to put that in place. You can trim the excess off that's hanging off the bottom and the sides and the top. I opted to leave it on, but you definitely can trim that off. Either way looks nice. And then we can place our sentiment on this left side over here. I'm going to tuck it in, leaving that, having left that little open spot with the flowers, I could just tuck the sentiment in there. Let's take a look at this up close. This was really quick and easy to make, even with the coloring of those flowers. And now I have flowers for another card, and of course a shaker card is magnificent, and it's really quick to do with these shaker pockets. Thank you so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you feel inspired.